Today on All Things 80s, we're looking at the most ridiculous variant vintage Star Wars figures currently for sale. Welcome back to All Things 80s. Now today I was looking at eBay because I am looking to complete my collection, and in doing so I've come across a lot of interesting so-called variant or factory error figures. I've compiled a list of a few that kind of stood out at me. We all know about variants with regards to hair color, um, blaster color, etc. That's fine. But these ones really do stand out. So the first one I found was a factory error slash defect blue Snaggletooth. And what makes this one a factory defect is that it has two right legs. And I'm inclined to believe this is a genuine factory defect because I can't possibly imagine someone having two blue Snaggletooths, taking them apart and putting one together with two right legs. And I have to assume they would have another one with two left legs. That's just not feasible. And second of all, the description does say that the seams are, perfectly perfectly aligned. There's no sort of stress marks which would be apparent if someone were to wedge apart one of these figures. So this one to me is a genuine factory defect, and the asking price for this is $9,450. So even taking into account the fact that this is a genuine factory defect, who in their right mind is going to spend that much money on such a ridiculous looking figure? I have no idea, but you can let me know down below if you think you would spend that much money on something like this. Next up, again, I have no reason to doubt this, but it's a vintage Paplu figure, which again has two right arms. No reason to doubt this one's authenticity. However, the asking price of $5,555.55 makes it seem quite ridiculous to me. Like I said, it's perfectly feasible that this is genuine. However, who is going to spend that much money on a figure that, one, is not a great figure to begin with, but two, has two right arms and just, it looks ridiculous. And again, with the previous one we looked at, the blue Snaggletooth, these asking prices are just absolutely ridiculous. So, whatever. The next one is interesting. This is a vintage red eye variant Luke Skywalker. And first of all, the figure is in dreadful condition. The asking price of $345, compared to the other two, is very reasonable. However, a Luke Skywalker in this sort of condition is worth at most $15, $20. And to use this variant label to try and bump the price, to me, is just nonsense. And this guy has gone on to sort of describe this, and I've got to read this out to you. So this is, he has a lot of variations. His face is a different shape. The hair is lighter lemon yellow blonde. I also think he might be an early version. A lot of differences. He has more character in the face with a more manly look. Normal Luke looks younger. A more manly look, and the normal Luke looks younger. A lot of looks being said there. Utter bull, if you ask me. He goes on to say, this is not brown-eyed Luke with chocolate brown eyes, which is also rare. The eyes on this one are much more red. Maybe someone used the wrong color paint on this one. I like his eyes. They stand out even at a distance. The lines are thicker as well. It's been a while. I search for other ones. I see the same sculptor mold, but never with red eyes. It could be the only one anywhere. He looks great as a centerpiece in a collection when he's in the middle of a bunch of figures. This figure is a good investment, rare enough to hold its value over time. I wouldn't ask for this much and sell him for that unless I was quite sure a discerning collector would be happy with them. So yeah, utter crap. What a chancer. Next one is a Lily Ledy hybrid Rancor keeper with Ewok legs. $600, by the way. Again, it's possible this happened at the factory. And even if that is the case, $600? Well, I wouldn't even pay $1 for this. It's so ridiculous. And how are there really collectors that need every single variant out there? And I understand the variants with your white hair, your grey hair Obi-Wans. That's perfectly understandable. But something like this is just, it's utter junk. And for $600, that is just taking the absolute piss. This next one is another of these people who are sort of trying to pull the wool over your eyes. This one is a rare variant colour Bespin gown Princess Leia for $500. And in other words, it's very much like the so-called green-limbed Chewbacca. The different plastic used for the arms, legs, and the torso obviously degrades at a different rate. So clearly this is just an old, very standard Princess Leia figure who has had the limbs fade over time. For $500, nope. Now this one is one of my favorites. This is a vintage Kenner Hoth Han factory error. So it's like the Rebel commander body with the Hoth Han head. But the description of this one is just absolutely fantastic. And it's going to take a bit of effort to read this because the description is a mixture of upper and lower case with no punctuation. So I'll do my best to read this out because this is absolutely hilarious. Here we have a 100% vintage original Kenner Star Wars Han Solo head Rebel Hoth body. Pet smoke free. Pet smoke. So that like if your dog smokes, that pets. Anyway, pet smoke free. Normal wear is shown. All is 100% original Kenner 1980s. And this is he's stressing this part. This is not a Boyle swap. I bought myself from original mom buyer and she said she remembered her son in 80s telling her, "Look mom, the head's wrong." She even said she wrote Kenner back then and they mailed her a replacement. Head is very strong and tight. Moves, but factory tight for sure. We all know this kind of figure is rare, but mistakes did happen by Kenner in 80s. I would not make this up, truly. I've done a lot of research and this was possible in 80s. And again, the woman I bought it from at garage sale was in her 60s. And I only paid $1 a figure. Well, I love his honesty at the end there, saying it only cost him $1. That's, good for him. But the rest of it is just complete nonsense. And the fact that he even has to say this is not a Boyle swap. I guess he means boil and pop, but like a boil. This guy's okay. We can give him the benefit of the doubt. English may not be his first language, so I shouldn't be too hard on him for that. But the pet smoke free I really liked, but and I only paid $1 a figure. Yeah, okay, I think that was my favorite one. And the last one I think is this one, which is, it's a vintage unique Lando Calrissian. Now this guy's saying error or custom. I think we can assume it's more of a custom than an error. But Lando Calrissian on the Hoth Luke Skywalker body. And to be fair, this one is he's charging $55 for it. Oh, plus $11 for economy shipping. Now again, this is a whole other topic, shipping. Economy shipping for a figure like this is under $3. I know that for a fact. So he's charging 11. I didn't actually give you the price of the Han one, or did I? $500, by the way, if I didn't mention that for the Hoth Han Rebel Commander figure. So yeah, Lando Calrissian is only $55. So yeah, I mean, what do you think? Is anyone really going to buy these? And if you are one of these collectors that has to have every piece out there, do you really want to spend that much money on a figure with two right legs, two right arms? I have absolutely no desire to even consider something like this. I'll be happy enough to have a nice set of good looking normal figures. But some of this stuff is just utter nonsense. And I especially like how they have to sort of add these little these blurbs going on and on about how real this thing is. Oh, this is genuine, man. This is a great investment. I don't think so. So anyway, that was just a bit of fun there. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, please subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. And see you next video.